we are live, and we got a TOL Week 14 matchup. The Aardvarks versus the Radon Dreams. Each team getting someone back. You just saw the bum come back, and actually the Dreams are getting two people back. Julia King and Chase. And a little bonus side note here. Bobby has given me a challenge. I have a saying I have to insert each quarter. So your job there is to see if you can pick up what it was I was supposed to say. So we got Moki Zobayan to fire it deep to King, who we just saw came off the bench. King fields it at the 15. Shoots up. There we go. And they're in Dreams hoping to get this big victory and see if they can stay in the playoff hunt. They're going to need to clinch a wild card spot. A big fire to Joe, but it's too far. Now, the good news here is I'm not quite as sniffly as last time, so I don't have to sound like I have a cocaine habit. I also don't have my dogs are sleeping on the bed behind me instead of fighting, so you probably will not hear their whining and, you know, all the little fun, exciting noises they make. You know, I just let my dog out to go take a shit, but his favorite thing, he's not on like a fence or an invisible fence or a chain or anything. And, of course, his favorite thing is to expand his property by wandering on the neighbor's yard and then taking a shit. And the neighbor actually got annoyed at that. But I mentioned to him, you know, I was like, hey, buddy, you know what? The grass is greener where the dog shits the most. And he just kind of stared at me like I was a weirdo when I said that. And, but I don't really see how you can argue with that. Oh, big interception there, unfortunately for the Dreams. But, you know, obviously shit's good fertilizer. Shit does not taste good, but it's very good fertilizer. And things tend to grow. Now, the opposite, right? You're going to get a big brown spot when you pee on a regular basis. And so that's something that you obviously have to watch. That's why dogs, you know, you can kind of see where they're peeing all the time. All right, but enough about me for right now. Let's get back to this game. We got a called play. So there was a big drive by the Dreams. They threw an INT, a painful INT, in the interception. Got the touchback. And this brings up a big third down here after a nice first down for the Aardvarks. Tori Wells in the back. She's going to slide up, but really gains nothing. 4th and 10. And she's going to have to punt it back to Julia King of the Dreams. So Liam fires it pretty deep. And that's going to be a little bit way too deep, actually. Would have been a good field goal, but nothing going on there. So we're still at 0-0 first quarter. Randall going to hand off, but they were all over that play. And the bum who came back from injury is going to lose too. Are they going to try that same play? No, they're going to plunge it up the middle. And he quickly takes an angle. And actually, it looked like he did a desperation lateral, which turned into a fumble. But then you get a couple divers. Shiloh streaking down the field, and he's going to bring it to the 15. So the desperation lateral on second down actually paid off. And so, and then the line collapses, but nothing happens. The fucking bum finds the end zone on just his third run of the game. And there you go, the Dreams looking to go up by 7 with this made extra point. No pressure, perfectly down the middle. And it is indeed a 7-0 game. And that cherry is popped. Just like Britney Spears and Justin Timberlake. All right, we got somebody in the shotgun. Tori Wells there in the shotgun. She's going to have wide, WR1 wide open. Lofts it perfectly. Doesn't get some dives, but gets to the 30. Big strike there on the shotgun pass. Now we got 4 wide. Called play, and T. Connor takes down Tori. Feel like sniffing her crotch a little bit long there on the ground. But hey, it's Tori Wells, who's not going to sniff. And then Tori takes off. Look at the speed of Tori. She may not be stopped, and she drags him in. She did a little leg scissor kick, stayed up in the air, wrapped those sexy thighs around, and then leaned across the goal line, dragging her opponent with her. And then Zobayan knocks in that extra point, and we are looking at a 7-7 game with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. Here comes Julia King, gets met immediately, gets a quick block, then hurls someone, and suddenly is off to the races, a big 15 extra yards due to that second effort. Offset formation for Randall. Line holds pretty well, picks up that second blitzer, and a nice 14-yard pickup there as we end the quarter 7-7 all tied up. Just how I like my women. And gonna have that wide receiver 2 open, can't get the dive, but the DB came flying across and knocked it away in a pretty sweet fashion. Butter on defense, Randall on offense. Randall's going to keep it, finds an open seam, and picks up 12 yards, and suddenly they're in field goal range at the 32. Everybody goes in motion, going no back. They pick up the deep man. Everybody's pretty well covered. The one dump off, and he leads them a little bit too much, let him into that coverage, and that's problematic. My dog said he would stay awake for this game, but I'm looking on the bed. He's just sitting there laying. Or actually, we're babysitting my brother's 2 dogs. We've got 4 dogs in the house right now. And, oh, shit, that reminds me. I got to give my dog his Viagra. He's not going to be able to satisfy all the other 3. Going to launch that red rocket at will. Here we've got a field goal attempt. It's going to be close. Oh! And unlike the Red Rocket, who can usually find that little sweet, soft pocket, they're unable to click it in there, and nothing doing for that one. So now the Aardvarks take over. Plenty of time left in this second quarter. Some pressure, but they get it to Corin. But who coughs up the ball? Oh, and the Aardvarks are right there to dive on top of it. Did you guys see in one of the recent games, they had somebody, nice caught and completion. I think a dude was out of bounds, and he touched the ball, and so they gave it back to him. I think it was Bill. I can't remember who the fuck it was. Bill something. I thought that was a bullshit play. It clearly didn't have possession, but I guess the rule is if you're out of bounds and you're on offense and you touch the ball, it stays with you. So something to remember for all you kids out there. All you got to do is just touch the damn ball. And we've got a chance, a missed dive. That's going to be a touchdown right there for Gab. Gab is going to find that checkered end zone, wave those flags like a racing car, spike the ball, jam his crotch into some another man's face, and say, how do you like that? Then they kick it through. There is a blocker, but he was on his back. No idea where the ball was. And it's a 14-7 lead for the Aardvarks. Aardvarks probably favored in this exchange. They are in the P1 position. But the Dreams there, let's see what they can do, have moved the ball reasonably well, only get out to the 18. Plenty of time left, halfway through the second quarter. Randall takes it, but it's a called play, and all the bum is able to do is get back to the line of scrimmage. All right, they're doing the rollout. He's got a chance. It's a low ball, and this time the dive doesn't work in his favor. Gets another dive, picks up good yak right there, and almost to the 50. 4 wide for Randall. Called play, though. He is going to fire it off. That's about the best thing probably could have happened. Maybe he had an outlet there for a few yards, but called play, you'll take just a loss of down. And everybody's well covered here. He's just going to force it to WR1, but he's double covered. Lucky that was not picked. 3rd and 10. They're going no back. Everybody shifts into position. Going to have his 2 dump-offs. Might go with a deep guy. The defense, they dove, but not there. Shiloh pulls it down. Great grab. And pulls that down impressively. Still a minute left. Same play. This time they're going to have the deep guy. He's going to lure him up, and then, did you see the outstretched hands? I thought perhaps it would bounce in front of him, but Sammy Sampson leaps in there. His long flowing hair, clearly responsible for his hair and strength. And then he makes the grab, and now it's a tie ball game. Will anything happen here with 50 seconds left? Can the Aardvarks mount some offense? Corin is deep at the 15. Plows forward, but met immediately. Dropped hard. And it looks like, yes, I see a piece of the bone sticking out of Nurse's leg. Get that dude on the sideline. In comes huge anus for RB2. And I'm not really a wizard. on, just a level 1 peasant there to come in. And he gets to throw off, and it's caught on a called play. Look at this huge pickup of fucking 30 yards on the called play. Impressive to get that play off. And all of a sudden, they're not too far away from field goal. Maybe even dreaming dreams. A double diver. That's going to be a touchdown. You couldn't have orchestrated those two plays any better, folks. I mean, the D was there. They were in pass coverage. Eric Nurses from Torrey Wells gets the catch. And now it's a 7-point lead. Just when you thought the Dreams were doing okay, an impressive drive to tie it up, you can't help but feel that they're going to be walking in with their heads a bit downtrodden. Look down upon your fellow man. Gotta feel a little bit bitter about that. They're just going to try a plunge up the middle. He's met quick, gets a block, but the time expires and nothing really happens. So a massive 50-second drive there from the Aardvarks. 2 huge plays, one of them called. Can't help but be a little bitter if you're rooting for the Dreams. But it is what it is. The score, 21-14, and the Dreams have to kick it off. Tedesco fires it deep, straight down the middle. Now here comes that sub. I'm a shitty wizard, don't even know how to cast magic missile into the darkness. And they get out to the 17. And that's a crappy return. All right, plenty of time here. He's going to find Gab, but leads him into coverage. Not a wise throw. Got a lot of motion. Going to fire it up the middle. Met hard and flattened. Flattened right there. Let's see what happens. Oh, they've got WR1 wide open. Torrey is there. Fires it deep to Charmart. Oh, and then the defender trips, can't get up, and look, the offender is spiking it in his face. That's gotta sting more than a jalapeno seed in your dick hole right there. You're on defense, you think you got it covered, you fall, and then they run into the end zone and basically take a giant shit on your head. And all of a sudden, they're up by 2 scores. Here comes King. Again, they've scored less than a minute. That's 2 one-minute drives. You got to be impressed with that ability of the offense to just find the deep man. Can the Dreams do anything in return? They're going to have the little dump off. A lot of pressure. Oh, and Cocoa Butter, smooth as cocoa butter, is right there. And gets that sack when they had the open. The bum at least misses the first guy, but doesn't pick up anything. A tough 3rd and 17. They do not want to turn the ball over. They do have, he had the guy's primary target streaking open, but he gets confused, fires it to somebody incorrect, double covered. They at least get a big boot here for the Wizard. The ball doesn't bounce. He gets a great first block. They need a fumble. They don't get it. And so now they take over at the 22. Anus in there at RB2. They're going to have that dump off. They double coverage. Nothing there. Needed a pick. You got to feel like the Dreams are going to need a little bit of luck to get back in this game. Here comes the run. Oh, he's flattened. That'll brighten spirits. Flattened like a pancake. Rolled over by a steamroller. Then a called play. It's Gary shows up. And now, 4th and 20. They should get pretty good field position. No pressure. Liam is able to fire it. Pretty good kick. They'll start at the 30. Got a wave of dudes coming there. And they get out to about the 36. Another called play. This time they fire it deep, but it's an INT. He felt the pressure, felt the need to make a great play, and just gives it right back at the 30. Can't help but feel like shit. Little bit of pressure. They fire it off to Anus, and they get their own pick. So they're not dead yet. They're not dead yet. Down by 2 scores. They've got to start mustering some offense here. Gonna have WR2 open. He's going to try to get it across the linebacker. He moves him into perfect position. Gets at one diver. The second diver saved another big 15 yards. But still, that's what they needed to do. They got to get this offense clicking. Here comes the pitch up to Shiloh. It looks all right. Hurls a guy. That's going to make him look even better. Needs a diver here. And he doesn't need a diver. He's just going to throw guys out of his way. Gets up to the 16. A lot of strength for Shiloh. Inside the red zone now, hoping to go down just by one score in the third quarter. Got a couple of dump-offs. Hoosie firing a two. Finds the right guy, and there's a touchdown. The Dreams offense starting to click. Daniels Marty secured that ball, sucked those balls in with those two firm hands, and then strolled across untouched. No blocker, 21, and suddenly it's a one-score game, and you got to feel like the Dreams have a little bit of life. It is just the third quarter. They're not going to try an onside. Probably wouldn't anyway. And the Wizard, 2 hit points. He's taken down by a little rock from a sling. They're not content with where they are. They do bowl over somebody and then fly through for a nice 15-yard pickup. Not just going to sit there and try to run. 4 wide for Torrey. And, but she's met in the background. She is strong, drags some people, and still going to count as a 1-yard loss. Travis gets the sack, and all of a sudden it's third quarter. 1 quarter to go. It's the witching hour. When games become games and games become interesting. Man in motion for Torrey. Some pressure in her face. I see the X. And it's another INT, a diving grab. And Torrey, she just got a look on her face. It's just utter disgust at herself. Honestly, it looks like she just bit into a stick of deodorant as she threw that ball. That was brutal. And she's spitting it out. I don't know if it's old cum or deodorant. I don't really know what she's dealing with. But she's got an issue there. The bum finds the outside for 7 yards. Good down and distance here. 2nd and 3. A called play. I thought maybe still he would sneak through. But they grab him. Really a horse collar. Surprised it wasn't called. They try that plunge up the middle. And no, 4th and 3. What are we going to do? They're going to go field goal. Still a lot of time left, so they're banking on this field goal, which is a shank. He shanks the easy field goal off the upright. You got to be disappointed in that play. So they got the great pick. They were right there, ready to do a little damage. Nothing happening. He's got one dump-off guy. I don't think anybody can get to Anus. And it's a nice 18-yard pickup for Huge. Here comes motion. Clears the distance. Torrey's going to keep it herself. 2nd and 4. 2:50 left, just on the inside of their territory. Going throw. Torrey's good at. But then once again she bites into that stick of deodorant and just, her face is crumpled, her mouth and nose is wrinkling. She's sticking her tongue out, and then they fail to guard Sampson. Look at his flowing hair. And he gets double divers as a result, gets inside the red zone, and suddenly we have ourselves a serious game after 3 picks coughed up by Torrey. They're going to plow up the middle. The bum is strong and gets the first down. A huge gain, 1st and 9. It looked like he was tied for no gain, but he didn't give up. They're going past. Could be a good play. Perfectly led for the bum. Perfectly led. You can see just stomping their feet in utter disgust and disappointment is the defense, but the bum doesn't care. Radon Randall's feeling excited. They are back in this game. No block. And we got ourselves a tie ball game with 1:47 left. Will any of the college playoffs be this exciting? Who knows? The Wizard is there at the 11. Does manage to get out to the 20. And then coughs up the ball. Level 1 Wizard. Where's your fucking wand, buddy? That is painful. Does nothing. Randall's not going to worry about giving up the ball. He's just going to keep it himself and go for 14 yards. Wise play. 1st and 10. I don't believe they can get a first down. So we can just call it 1st and goal. Yes, the sticks are gone. And let's see what they've got. They've got the guy deep in the bottom. He waited too long. The defense will get there. Pushed it just beyond. Let's see what they do here. Shotgun formation for Randall. Gonna pitch it up the middle to Shiloh, who looked good. Knocks a guy out of his way. And then brings it in 3rd and 3, 46 seconds left. They're really sitting pretty here. But we have seen them score in less than a minute. And that, oh, they hold him. 4th and 1. So can they get a block? This is basically a super quick extra point. I don't even think you can miss it. And I don't think any defenders there. So they're up by 3. The Dreams. Harmon Tedesco fires it in. Up by 3, a gigantic kick. Remember, they've got the terrible wizard back there. You know he's not going to get a great return. They're dreaming of a touchback, actually, but they don't get it. He fights his way out to the 13, 25 seconds. We've seen him score, but I don't know if they can score this fast. They decide not to cover the deep man. That's the start. The fire, 8 seconds, 5. Oh, and then tackled. They tried to race the field goal unit on, but time had expired. I mean, 343 yards for Torrey Wells. You got to be excited about that. 62% is good, but the 3 INTs were the killer, and the bum with a much better rushing game, 155 yards. Actually, Randall's helping out. Shiloh contributed on that. 13 first downs, able to overcome 2 INTs for Randall himself. And so now, the playoff race continues to get even more interesting as the Dreams knock up a win and the Aardvarks take the L. I hope everybody has an awesome new year. We'll see you on the other side.